Hey everyone, Hermit here, and welcome back to the Tabletop Solo. Today we're going to go over a solo tabletop role-playing game about playing through the history of a sentient magic item, Artefact. We start off with a bit of a foreword by Jack Harrison, the creator of the Artefact game. You rest fallen or discarded in the dirt, but your body is not flesh, and you are not mortal, so you wait. Seasons pass in flashes, cold following heat, rain following drought, death following birth, until one day your wait is over. Someone lifts you from the detritus, inspecting you, feeling your weight in their hands. They decide to keep you, becoming your keeper. Through them you experience the world. You see them undertake great quests or perhaps commit atrocious sins, all with your aid. You almost forget the long time you spent in the dark, until inevitably you return. And you rest, fallen or discarded in the dirt. You do not know how long you will wait for someone new to arrive. That bit of poetry at the beginning really sets the stage for this game, in my opinion. We usually play as the adventurers in these stories that wield the items. We don't really ever get the perspective of a sentient magic item. You're ageless, deathless. You spend most of your time hidden away in a dark dungeon or something else, and the only times you really get to experience the world are through the people that pick you up and wield you. And this game, Artefact, does a very good job at putting you in that mindset. So I think we're going to briefly go over the narrative mechanics this game has. I won't go into every single one because I really think you guys should pick it up. Really good game for DMs to help you kind of flesh out details of your world if you want to include sentient magic items. The game is available on itch.io, so really think about checking it out. So yeah, we will go over the rules, and I will make an item, and maybe I'll include it in my solo D&D 5e campaign, Threads. If you haven't checked out Threads, please give it a look. First 2 episodes are out. So without further ado, we'll move on to the game itself. One thing this game has going for it is you don't really need a whole lot to play. You basically just need an hour or 2 of your time. You need the PDF itself. You need something to write with. You need a way to keep time, because a lot of this game will involve the time between your keepers, the people that wield you, because you'll be spending a lot of your time just kind of alone. And the game will ask you to pause and kind of reflect on that. So you don't need a whole lot, which is nice. The game is played out in 3 acts. Each act is a different keeper that wields us throughout our long, unending life. And each one, more and more time passes before the next. And the game will ask us to think about what happens during that time and reflect on it. I keep calling it a game, but it's more of a very immersive, creative writing device. Not to knock it at all. I think it's very useful for world building. But I'll just call it a game to make things easier. So I think we will make an item and we'll briefly go through the process. I think this will be more engaging than just me reading all the rules. I don't want to read through everything because I don't want to give everything away. So you guys go check out the game rather than just watch me play it all. So I looked through all the item offerings in the Artifact PDF, and I decided to do the weapon. It is a tool of war, a blade, axe, or something stranger. I chose that one. There's quite a few, but I'm not going to go through every single one. This basically gives you the opportunity to describe your item, what it is, what it does, give it a little bit of a background before we get into the game itself. So, you were tempered in the heat of a great forge by a legendary smith. Describe them, their materials, and their smithy. Okay, I think that this is going to be a dwarven weapon. If I want to include it in the game I'm running, Threads, I think it's going to be crafted by the legendary dwarf, the Forge Father, the dwarf that ascended to godhood, the one that our dear friend Hurek worships. So I think this sword will have been created by him. It'll give you this. You could also draw out the item if you so choose. I'm not going to. Maybe I'll draw it and put it in the game. Who knows? So over time, you gain a name or honorific. What is it and why? So this is one of the artifact questions. The game asks you to put you in the mindset of this item's history. So I think we'll call ourselves the First Blade. This was the first blade made by the Forge Father. Let's see. So suggested traits. I like flaming. So it's flaming and it's knowing. I feel like this is a very old sword. And we need one more trait. Flaming, knowing, and curious. Yeah. I mean, if you know a lot, you're curious. You should ideally always be curious. So we have a flaming, curious, knowledgeable sword. So that is us for right now. Next, we will go through our keeper. You see underneath that is keepers 1 newly forged. The 1 denotes the act we're on, so we're newly made. This is our first keeper. So we choose a keeper from below and resolve them following the process on page 4, but it's summarized here. So we'll choose our hero first, our keeper. I like the young noble. I think that the Forge Father made this sword for his son. I like that, so we're going to go with that. So, young noble, they are wealthy, educated, and fashionable. Describe the landed family that they are descended from. How are you used in the noble's cutthroat politics? I think that we were a gift from father to son. I think the Forge Father that family was very skilled family of blacksmiths, and I feel like in this setting, dwarves are very much merit focused. So the Forge Father became the best smithy, best artisan in the country, and became their god king. So I think that's how their family started out. And how are you used in the noble's cutthroat politics? I don't think this sword got a whole lot of use in the first act. I think that it was more of a ceremonial blade at first. So I think that's us. We were a ceremonial gift. So yeah. And I already answered some of the questions. Describe the keeper. I already did that. He was the son of the Forge Father. I have to choose from tables 29 or 30. So I think we're going to choose from the Valor and Victories table. I was going to roll, but a lot of these have to do with fighting, and I really don't think the blade was used a lot during the first act. So I think I'm going to choose a long-standing feud between 2 prominent factions was resolved. How did your keeper convince the leaders to come to the negotiating table? There's that one president that said speak softly and carry a big stick. I think the first blade was the big stick. So I think just our presence helped push negotiations forward. So I think that's what we did with that. Okay, so next is we're going to answer another artifact question. You are immortal, you do not grow old. What preoccupation of the keepers is the most strange to you as someone who cannot die? I think sleeping would be really weird. If I was immortal and I knew everyone else around me would eventually die, I would find sleeping to be very strange. Like you're wasting your life by literally not doing anything. So I think I think that would be it. Consider how the keeper loves you for number 5. I mean, we were a gift from his father, so I think there's that familial love, and we're associated with that. And number 6 is move the time to wait for a new keeper. Now we could play out through 2 more acts, but I don't want to give this item too much of a backstory. I want to include it in the campaign, so I don't want to tell its entire story yet. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, please check out Artefact on itch.io. I use it all the time for my solo play and for when I DM. It's a really good resource to have. Please check out Threads. I'm putting a lot of work into it. I'm enjoying it. I'll include a playlist link at the end of the video. Check me out on X at the Tabletop Solo. Sorry, doing all those plugs. But yeah, you guys, whether shared or solo, I genuinely hope all your adventures in life are epic.